Well guys, I'm making this video again because yesterday I forgot to turn my mic on. But anyways, you guys saw the title, the only sword guide you will need until a new update comes out and they add like 40 different swords. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So before we get into the video guys, if you are or are not new to the channel, it would be very helpful if you did leave a like. You might as well subscribe. The button's right there. And you can get videos like these, PvP videos, videos with subscribers, and much, much more. And join the Discord link in the description below to be in videos, giveaways, events, and more. And with all of that said, let's get straight into it. No matter if you're a noob struggling to gain bounty, no matter if you're an intermediate player struggling to gain bounty, no matter if you're a pro watching this video because you're bored, the only sword guide you'll need. Okay, first of all, I want to say I don't have Dragon Heart. I don't have any of the new dragon stuff, but I've faced it enough to know that this thing definitely goes in the beginner category. You don't need much skill to use this thing. But anyways, we're gonna do this by bounty, beginner, intermediate, then pro, and we'll go from there. So for the beginners, for your swords, of course, you have Dragon Trident. Dragon Trident has like huge area range. The X move looks like a C or a V move on a fruit almost, which is absurd, especially considering that this thing is only a rare sword. It makes no sense. But yeah, Dragon Trident is a great beginner sword to use. It is easy. Another sword we have is Cursed Dual Katanas, another easy to use sword. Now, it's not as easy as Dragon Trident because it doesn't instantly kin break, and you know, the move isn't insanely huge, but it's still a very easy sword to combo with. So if you're wanting to start to learn combos, I would recommend starting out with CDK because it is a very comboable sword. Pair it with like Portal or Rumble and you will be set for life. Another one we have is True Triple Katana. True Triple Katana is easy to use. You see high bounty users using it. It is a very easy to use sword and it's very beginner friendly, so I would put it in the beginner category. And of course you can use it in like the intermediate levels and higher bounty levels, but I'm putting it in beginner because it's very easy to use this thing. Another one we have is Shark Anchor. A lot of people you'll see just throw the Z move around and spam it and run. You can do that exact same thing and most likely you'll win if the opponent is stupid. But no, seriously, Shark Anchor is also very easy to combo. So again, if you're trying to work on your combos, if you're trying to get combos right, then I would use Shark Anchor. But any one of those is honestly good for learning sword main to start. And for beginners, I don't really think your fighting style matters. Whatever fighting style that you're most comfortable with, I think you should be using, of course, just to get used to, you know, sword main, get used to the game. You need as much support as possible, which is why for the gun, I think you should use Soul Guitar. Soul Guitar is very easy to use. All you have to do is press X. For the things people don't really go over much, the race and of course the accessories. All right, for race, honestly speaking, I think Shark is your best bet. For accessories, it honestly depends on what type of playstyle you want to be going for. If you want to be a little dashy, use Pilot Helmet. It gives you a bunch of speed. If you want to get your health back, use Lei. This thing, it speeds up your health regen by like 50%. The Hunter Capes are always all right. Pale Scarf, if you're using Portal, you can really see your opponent from like almost anywhere. So if you want to like go to different islands and see where people are, Pale Scarf is good for that. Leviathan Shield, damage reduction. And if you're in the water, you're basically a shark user, bro. You barely take any damage. So, and to be honest, accessories don't really change from level to level. So I think all of those accessories are good throughout your sword main journey. But yeah, that's really about it for the beginners. Now let's go on to intermediate. And the intermediate swords, first we have Darkblade. And a lot of people call Darkblade a pro sword, but I don't see it, man. Darkblade is an intermediate sword to me. It's pretty easy to use, but it has a little bit of a learning curve, unlike the beginner swords. So that's why I'm putting it in the intermediate category. After you learn a little bit of your sword main skills, after you spam a little bit of the users, then you can go ahead and use Darkblade if you really want to. But it's a very fun sword to use, but I just don't see it at that pro category, you know? Spiky Trident. A lot of you might say Spiky Trident. Wait a minute, guys. Oh my gosh. It slipped my mind, but fruits for beginner and intermediate, they're like the same. So I'll go over the fruits you should use for beginner and intermediate after I get through the swords. Anyways, Spiky Trident, you guys might say it's a beginner sword, and I might agree with you. I think it's on the borderline of beginner and intermediate just because it does not kin break, and these moves like rely on something. They rely on on, it can break badly. Next, we have Gravity Blade, and Gravity Blade goes in intermediate because of the range. I mean, the Z move breaks Ken, but the range, of course I had to hit that. But the range isn't too far. I don't know how to explain it. It's a good sword, decently easy to use, but if you give it to a beginner, they're really not going to know what to do with it in most cases. But again, if you're intermediate and you're trying to learn combos, this is another great sword to learn your combos, you know, maybe finish up learning combos. Another one we have is Saber, and Saber, to be honest, I'm not going to go over it too much. It's like an off-brand Dark Blade. So if you want Dark Blade, you don't have Dark Blade, use Saber. Still a great sword. But honestly, I think that ends off the intermediate swords. Midnight Blade, nobody really uses it anymore. That's why I didn't put it up here. And Goku, I didn't put it up here because of the Z move. All right, now, fighting style, again, I think for intermediate, doesn't really matter as much. Now let's go on to your fruits. All right, fruits for intermediate and beginner don't really change much. So Portal Fruit, Rumble Fruit, Diamond Fruit, Sand Fruit, Dark Fruit, and the filthy, dirty, dumb Ice Fruit. You know what all of these have in common? A good amount of stun moves or things that have mobility. That's really what you need in sword main. That's really all you need in sword main is stun and mobility. And now guns, I would honestly switch off of Soul Guitar. Soul Guitar reliance is not a good thing if you're trying to get better. So I would use Kabucha. I would use Kabucha or Dual Flintlock. They both have stun move X moves, and you can use combos with these things pretty easily, but not as easily as Soul Guitar. And race, I would probably use like Cyborg so you don't get comboed. Cyborg could go beginner too now thinking about it, but yeah, with that said, let's move on to the pro. First of all, we have Buddy Sword. Buddy Sword could go in intermediate, but it's kind of like hard to hit the X move, and it has a big learning curve on Buddy Sword basically. So I put it in the pro category. And guys, you might be thinking pro is in very skilled, but I'll get to that at the end. So maybe I should have named this semi-pro. Another one we have is Dark Dagger, and Dark Dagger is honestly like a straight combo sword. I don't think you really freestyle with Dark Dagger. You hit combos with the Dark Dagger. You do not just freestyle with it. Another one we have is Shizu / Shishui. If you guys don't know what Shizu is, they like reworked the name or something. But another great sword. A lot of competitive crews that do like these tryout things, they'll require you to use Shisui and a select few other swords if you're sword main. So if you're going for that type of stuff, I would recommend going ahead and learning it so you'll be ready. And lastly, we have Twin Hooks. Got the little rework. It's a little bit better than it was before, I think, or it might just be visual. Maybe I'm just delusional. But again, another sword which has comboable moves, but the range is like very short. Now, after 30 million, we do have one sword. Well, a few swords. We have two swords for after 30 million. Shizu, I already explained, and Soul Cane. Gun, I think Venom Bow or no gun. If you have a problem with it, take it to the comments, buddy. But yeah, I think that really about wraps up our list. So if you did enjoy, let me know your bounty in the comments below. And if you did enjoy the video, it would be very helpful if you did leave a like. You might as well subscribe. The button's right there. And you can get videos like these, PvP videos, videos with subscribers, and much more. And join the Discord, link in the description below to be in videos, giveaways, events, and more. And I'll see you guys in the next one.